Hey,
So we went over some numbers for Barrie for October 1st to the 12th. What is Innisfil looking like?
Innisfil isn't looking too good. Numbers. I think inventory is out of control. They have 316 listings. That's 6.5 months worth of supply. This month from October 1st until today, 61 new listings, 14 price changes, 8 conditionally sold so far, and only 7 sold properties for the month of October. Not good.
Oh, that's horrifying numbers.
Horrifying. It's horrifying. And that market, a lot of properties over $1 million in that community, right? Lots of those subdivisions, a lot of big bungalows and 2 stories. And we know the impact of high borrowing costs, et cetera, has impacted that sale. And definitely that market is feeling it so far in October.
Well, and I've always found Innisfil was a little bit slower than Barrie as far
Yep.
as sale wise, but the prices are higher there as well.
Mm-hmm. I know. You know, why the big surge of inventory? I don't know. I think some people may be down there feeling the pressures, big mortgages. I watched a thing on TikTok this afternoon, talked about actually from one of the podcasts, that guy we follow, I forget his name, had a guest on there, and he has a friend that works at a bank. On any given week, they would, power sale properties 5 per month. Now they're seeing up to 50 properties a month power sales lately.
Wow.
Well, a big jump, right? That's a big number. And we know, with those variable products from clients that we have that are in those products that feel the pinch now. I couldn't imagine having a $700,000 or $800,000 mortgage on a variable product today.
No, I
And
know. Well, and Rob, my mortgage guy, well, he was on one of our podcasts.
yep,
Um, he told me that Dominion lending was down like 50 or 60% or something. Like it was a huge number.
yep,
They're not
yep,
even like people aren't even like because normally they get a lot just from refinancing.
yes,
But
yep.
people are who's going to refinance now?
That's right. Anyone's going to refinance is going to sit back and say, hey, I'm going to wait a while. I'm going to see what happens to the Bank of Canada.
Well, they'd
And
have to be approved for 8% now.
I
Before
know,
they probably got approved for 4.
I know that's not happening. So that business is all wiped out. Right. So I think there's a lot of starving mortgage agents out there today because, how many of them relied on that refi
Oh,
business?
yes, lots. And
Lot,
people aren't buying either. So that's the other thing. Like if our sales are down, so are theirs, right?
100%. And you just said Rob's down 50%. What did we see in Barrie for September? I think it was
61.
61. So that's a big number, right? So, wow, that means that percentage is not correlates almost with the mortgages side by side. They intertwine so much. So yeah, that's huge. So
And
I don't know.
Innisfil, like from what I noticed too, like I've been showing in Innisfil a lot,
Mhm.
and there's not very many that are in the lower price range.
No, there's
And
not.
anything that is in the lower price range has no basement, no garage. It's like a cottagey thing.
That's it.
Um, everything, nearly everything is over $1 million.
No. And it sits and sits and sits and sits.
But my question is, are they overpriced and just nobody there's adjusting? Because our friend Jessica there had a listing and it was like at 1.3,
Mhm.
and she said, it's never going to sell at 1.3. She tried to tell the seller, right? And the seller says, well, everybody in my neighborhood's at the same price. Well,
Right.
yeah, but they've all been here for 60 days and nobody's selling.
That's right.
So it's like everybody's holding tight and are refusing to lower the price.
Yep. Yep. And we're seeing a lot of that, right? We've seen it. I went to a listing appointment down there. I think it was in June or July. And he just used me to get a, evaluation. So, kept contact, et cetera. He ended up listing with someone else in the city. And I said, I'd struggle at 1,275,000. It's a big jump because of the amount of inventory on the market currently. What does he do? 1.4.
I was going to say 1.4.
1.4. Going nowhere. 60 some days in the market. Then I see a few pricing strategies with that property. I think he put it for 1.1, holding off on offers on this date. And it's like, good luck. Never got it. When I think he reduced it to 1.389, but that property will never go anywhere. And that guy, he's in a variable product. He's a young gentleman. Parents moved back to the home country, and he's in a variable product. It's costing him thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And he just bought the property in 2022. I said, you will be lucky to break even on this property to get out.
Yeah, but look what he did. And a lot of people are doing that. They go to the agent from Toronto,
100% they do,
who is going to tell them what they want to hear, even though they're never going to sell it.
Never going to sell it. Never going to sell it. Big, gigantic 2-story. They're a dime a dozen. He's got a ravine, but so what? It's a small backyard. It's
well, and Jessica was telling me when she had hers listed, she was calling all the listing agents. They were all Toronto agents.
100%.
And she was asking them, like, you guys are overpriced, like, I'm trying to talk to my client. Are you guys going to do a price change? Are you going to, what are you going to do? Well, basically they're all saying the same thing. Everybody in the neighborhood's still the same price. So we're not going to drop it.
I know. Why not look at the reason why they're not selling is because everyone's at the same price. The market's already spoken saying the price isn't right. Not follow the herd here. Let's price it right so we get some attention, right? And that high price, we've gone through so many times. I'm even sick of saying it, but those sales are small single digits, and they're evaporating more and more and more. You got a high price point property, you better show really, really good or have something spectacular to sell and offer to that buyer. If not, it ain't selling.
Well, yeah. And the other thing too is that I find that the Toronto agents dominate in Innisfil, because most of the buyers were from Toronto, and then they use the person they bought with to sell.
Yep, 100%.
So most of them are Toronto, and I lived in Innisfil for 23 years. You wouldn't believe how many they won't even drive back up to put the sold sign up when it's sold.
100%.
They list the thing and they forget about it. They won't show it themselves. They won't drive up here to show it. They don't even want to come and do open houses. Or now open houses don't sell houses in general anyway. Not
I've had, right? Like, it's tough doing them, but it, we've sat there many times on $1 million properties and no one's come through. Give me an open house on a $700,000 property, I'll do it any day of the week.
Yeah.
Right. But I know that's kind of tough, but you're right. They won't come up. They just, or they don't even put a sign on, one or the other.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no sign at all.
Right. So why aren't people looking at, do you really think some of these agents are actually looking at what's going on in that market, looking at, that properties and comparing it and taking the time to go through that with the seller and showing them, hey, this is 60, 90 days in the market, no price changes. And it's not working.
This is exactly why I brought it up, because all they're doing is looking at what everybody's listed on the street and they stick that price on it, and that's it.
Yep, that's it. Great CMA. Let's follow everybody else.
Well, and what are things at that square footage and that kind of build age, what do they actually sell for?
I agree. It's tough. Like, and sometimes that market's on fire, sometimes it's not, right? But man, I haven't seen that much inventory down there in some time. So it's just loaded up, like, for a small community of 34, 35,000 people, and you got 316 listings down there. I don't know.
A lot.
It's a lot, right? And, are we going to see some of those buyers return to the market? After October 25th, when the Feds and Bank of Canada, will make a decision on the rate? Maybe if it's too pauses, maybe the sentiment will come back and go, okay, we're feeling comfortable here. But
well, you know what my problem is? Normally we kind of follow, or we're a month or two behind the GTA, right? Because you sell in Toronto And then you come up here and you're buying a mansion for the same price that you just got a semi-detached, right? But if the
100%.
market in Toronto's slow,
Yep.
then we're going to be slow.
100%. 100%.
That's
Right.
what happens, right? Because it's all those people buying those 1.2, 1.1, 1.3. Mark, do they live here in Innisfil?
No, no,
We can't
no.
afford it.
Can't afford it. No. Innisfil people aren't buying Innisfil properties. And I say the same thing about Barrie. Barrie people aren't buying Barrie properties. It's rare. Unless you get that townhouse client that's trading up. Okay. That's been sitting there with a pile of equity and it's, bought it for $200,000. Greg, we stay in the community because we built up equity over there. But, I can't tell you the last time when I actually did a deal like that. It's been so long.
I know.
Right.
Yeah.
And so long, and we continue to work with out of town agents, and just because they're bringing the buyers up, right? How many times have we, I know I get excited when I work with a local agent on a deal because it's so rare. Because
Well, you know what's funny too? That one you were talking about in the last video, we were in multiple offers.
Yep.
And I got it because he didn't want to work with the Toronto agent.
Right.
Like, that's the thing that people don't realize. I don't think that in Barrie and Innisfil, it's a small community of agents. We all know each other. We trust each other.
Yep.
When I tell an agent, yes, their money is good, their financing's good, they trust that.
That's right. That's right.
And when somebody's coming from out of town saying, oh no, our money's good and we have you don't trust them. People don't trust them because we got burnt, right? We've all got burnt on that.
100%. I know. And that happens, right? And oh yeah, we sold, or oh yeah, we're not gonna have no problem selling. We don't even put an SPP in there. And 3 weeks before closing, well, we may need to adjust the closing date because we haven't sold yet.
Yeah. Even though they never told us that they didn't even have a house to sell.
It's crazy. Anything else within this, Phil?
No.
I think it's slowing down there. And let's see what the rest of the month brings out and go from there.
Okay.
Hey, talk soon. See you.
Okay, bye.